Hello, everyone. My name is Mackenzie, and I'm super excited to talk to you about a subject I'm very passionate about, the 3030 Project. I have chosen this topic for two main reasons. The first being that marine science is the major I am currently pursuing, and secondly, the health of our oceans is an essential element of life on Earth. Let's go ahead and dive on in. What is the 3030 target? A few years ago, an international team of 26 authors published a study in the prestigious Nature journal, offering a combined solution to some of humanity's most pressing challenges. This study remains the most comprehensive assessment to date, explaining the ocean's role in abundant food supply, climate change solutions, and what strict ocean protection can achieve regarding these concerning matters. Through the research, specific areas of the ocean were identified that could provide multiple benefits if protected, and through safeguarding these regions would protect 80% of marine life, increasing fishing catches and protecting keystone species. On top of all of this, protection of these areas would prevent the release of more than 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide by protecting the seafloor from bottom trawling. In mid-May of this year, the 15th conference of the parties to the United Nations Convention of Biological Diversity will meet with representatives from 190 other countries to work towards finalizing an agreement to end the world's biodiversity crisis, one of the main pillars of this being the 3030 target. The goal of the 3030 target is to strictly protect 30% of oceans by 2030. Currently, only about 7% of oceans are being actively protected, and this needs to change immediately. Scientists believe that increasing protection and creating safe spaces in the ocean will allow reefs and species to adapt and build resilience against climate change and other man-made threats, creating a healthier and more sustainable future. Why is it that we need the 3030 target so badly? Our oceans need our help. As of now, only a very minuscule fraction of our oceans have any sort of protection or human restriction, though they face a multitude of threats. Listed below are some of the biggest threats to our oceans. The first being climate change. This may currently pose the greatest threat to our ocean health. The recent climate changes since the 1900s have raised the average surface temperature of oceans by nearly 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This may not seem like a drastic change, but it has promoted acidification and coral bleaching, reducing oxygen levels and making it harder for sea life to breathe. Plastic pollution is another threat that the oceans are facing. There's currently more than 5 trillion pieces of plastic pollution floating in the sea, with nearly 1 garbage truckload of plastic being dumped into the ocean every minute. A third threat is overfishing. Nearly a third of global fish stocks are overfished. Even species that were once extremely abundant are now becoming increasingly endangered. Illegal and undocumented fishing ends up costing the economy billions each year, and restaurants and markets continue to serve endangered seafood species such as eel, Atlantic cod, and bluefish tuna. Fourthly, marine protected areas are few and far between, with only about 2% of the oceans being strictly protected. We've seen through national parks that protected areas help wildlife to thrive, and the same is true for underwater protected areas. Lastly, fisheries subsidies. Each year, governments spend billions on fisheries subsidies, directly accelerating harmful overfishing by providing incentive. Why do we need healthy oceans? Healthy oceans are critical in supporting a healthy life on Earth for both animals and humans alike. The global ocean is a vast expanse, covering over 70% of the Earth's surface, while containing 97% of Earth's water. A healthy ocean is necessary to regulate climate change and reduce climate change impacts. Ocean currents distribute heat across the globe, regulating temperature and affecting weather. The ocean also absorbs approximately 30% of carbon dioxide emissions, as well as 90% of heat caused by global warming. While many are aware of the importance of the rainforest and its foliage in providing clean oxygen, the ocean is the second lungs of the Earth and is responsible for every second breath that we take. Along with the ocean's crucial role in slowing down the process of climate and temperature change, it also serves as the largest provider of protein in the world, sustaining over 3 billion people with its resources, many of whom depend on seafood as their primary source of protein. Without thriving oceans, the global economy would lose 39 billion generated annually from maritime and tourism activities. Why does a successful, or what does a successful 30-30 mean? While the 30-30 target may not solve every problem facing our oceans, it can greatly impact a few that directly correlate with the health and safety of human populations. The study previously discussed has found that wisely placing marine protected areas that ban fishing would actually give a much needed boost to the industry. Allowing safety zones for species to breed and raise young would increase population size, resulting in an overflow outside of those protected areas and greater fishing hauls. Giving species an opportunity to bounce back would create a shift in our oceans with greater biodiversity and abundance. Entire ecosystems could be restored if keystone species are given the chance to reestablish themselves in the food chain, allowing our oceans to better provide for humankind. By limiting trawling in the ocean, we could limit the amount of carbon dioxide released from the ocean floor, as this destructive form of fishing unleashes carbon stored in the soil and tosses it back into the water column, where it could be eaten by bacteria and turned into carbon dioxide. Studies suggest that the carbon emissions generated by this form of fishing are equivalent to the global airline industry. That is a lot of carbon. By reducing the additional form of carbon dioxide, we allow the oceans more room to absorb other emissions linked to human activities. Tricia Atwood, an ecologist who performed much of the carbon analysis for the report, says that the oceans are the greatest carbon sink we have right now. The more carbon dioxide we add to it, the less it is able to take up. If we wish to solve the most pressing challenges of our century, biodiversity loss, climate change, and food shortages, we must protect the oceans. If you are looking for ways that you can help, I have a few listed below. You can urge your government to support the 30-30 goal with the link that follows, as well as spreading the word on social media platforms using hashtag Love3030. Supporting the negotiation of a strong UN High Seas Biodiversity Agreement that will enable marine protection areas to be established in 2/3 of the ocean by supporting the activities of the High Sea Alliance, with that link also posted. And if you're also looking for more ways that you can help day to day, I have a link of how to be a responsible ocean user and discovering 10 ways that you can help to save the oceans on your own time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you take things into your own hands when it comes to saving our oceans and our future. Thank you very much.